morning. How are all the nice people of the internet doing? Interneting hard? Just like, sure. I don't know what he's going on about. Going a little crazy. Moo. Moo. There's a lot of cattle, yeah. Looks like it's a bit of a cloudy morning. Just as Rogers Pass got a bunch of snow. Still getting a bunch of snow. Or all day today we're supposed to get a bunch of snow. Okay, so snowing like crazy on Rogers Pass apparently. So we're not headed that way. I think. Just watch, it'll be a Rogers Pass run. I'll still take it, that'd be fun. Those cows are racist. All the white ones are hanging out in a cliquey group there. Racists. You see that? And there's one by himself way out here. Poor guy. They don't like that one. They sent him way out here. Oh, there's some bald eagles sitting in there too. Cool. Oh, there was a calf there. Okay. So it's mama with its calf. Makes sense. You stay away from my kid. I'm going to shelter my kid. Highway 1 between Cache Creek and Kamloops, eastbound. Go to Kamloops and then head south to Kelowna. And then we'll find out what a run is after that. Just says Klesnikov, but...
No, I'm not sure.
It's could be. And her second guess Grand Forks, you're still not taking what I think we're going to get. I have two options as well. Either Katera running to the US or Adams Lake. Loading Adams Lake to Atwood Reload or something like that in Fruitvale. Could be Greenwood and Medicine too, but I think that's more likely, but you never know. We sometimes get thrown really cool loads instead. So. Yeah, it's only Tuesday. Yeah. Tuesday means they could still give us some long run still. I'd be happy with that. Oh yeah, I'll be short on hours on Saturday, yeah, because we ran, how many hours did we run on Sunday? I'm trying to think now. Yeah, 6 or 7 hours. 7 or 8, Jess says. But you have to remember that during the week. We ran our full hours yesterday, so if we keep running our full hours through the week, we won't have hours on Friday. Let alone Saturday. like we're building a mountain here. It keeps getting taller every time we drive by. Definitely doing some mining down close to the river, and they're bringing the mountain up here. Although that top layer looks different now. It looks like rock. So they're no longer bringing dirt up here. They're bringing rock up here. So I'm sure they're gonna sell that rock. Yep. It looks like it's just they're storing product there now, I think. Some rock being stored over here too. Not a lot, just a little bit. Just store some here for local deliveries maybe. Excuse me. Enjoying this. It's always beautiful scenery through here. Very desert kind of conditions in this valley. Just dropping out of lower gear here. Any trains on either track going on this side of the river or on the other side of the river. There's always trains here. I guess not today. Okay, maybe just not at this location at this particular time. field. I think he's spreading manure out on it, adding a layer of fertilizer. It's spring when they're working their fields up here already. Although there's a big snowstorm on Rogers Pass, but it's spring down here. Damn it. How am I supposed to know where my mouth is? I can't see it. Took a drink of water, I missed my mouth. It's really a guessing game. You can't see your own mouth. How are you supposed to know where it is? You got no debate on that one? Got a frog in there too. A frog obviously can find where my throat is or my mouth is, but I missed it. Model trains, so really old model trains, or antiques and model trains. Sky Station. I guess because they're kind of up here, mountains a little further away, you get a lot more sky here than deeper in the valley. So I mean, it's not like prairie big sky, but it is bigger sky than the surrounding area. long downgrade, or else I would have picked even more gears. Okay, cars, you don't have to try passing me now. There's a passing lane right after this downgrade. Those black lines go right across. Definitely came down too fast. If I'd been oncoming traffic, that would have been very, very, very bad. We're loaded pretty high. I showed you guys the load yesterday, but that back trailer is about 8 inches short of being a max height load, so fairly high on the back there. Not the highest I've loaded higher. No, I've measured, it's like, we've got about 1.5 centimeters before we're illegal, so let's make sure I park on flat ground and remeasure. I want to make sure we're legal. And then also make sure all the bridges and tunnels are high enough that I clear them. Speed limit is 100 down this, but I know there's lower speed limit down here, so I might as well go 90 the whole way down. That way I don't have to try slowing down going down the hill. They need a warning at the top of the hill for big rigs. So if it's the first time coming through here, it's difficult to get to the 90. Oh yeah, there's my train. Looks like a coal train. Long coal train. There's a lot of equipment in there. It looks like it's a lot of mining equipment. I don't know, it's a mix of different equipment. I don't know exactly who they do maintenance for, or who their customer is, or is that just a storage for a company? Is it a mining company? Is it a oil company? Is it a lumber? No, it wouldn't be lumber. The equipment isn't right for that, but because it feels like a mining industry type of equipment place, but it might be oil industry as well, but I tend to think it's mining industry. Yeah, there is a mine up by Kamloops here, so could be. Another good pull-out to sleep over here. Nice big one. Oh, looks like there's a Varian Smith parked in there. Other than it's in front of someone's front yard, so I don't know how annoyed they are at idling trucks there all the time. Because people idle their vehicles or trucks. I don't understand sometimes why the trucks are idling. It's like, temperature outside is beautiful, and they're not cooking food for 3 hours straight. Well, even when I run my laptop in here, I idle for an hour while the laptop charges, and then I turn it off again for an hour or 2 hours. Play, and then, oh, need to charge the laptop again. I'll idle. That happens very, very, very rarely. Only when I'm resetting in the middle of nowhere, not in a truck stop, not near friends' places, which does not happen often. Very rarely. I don't think more than once or twice a year. Few times that has happened, it's in either poor planning on my behalf or poor planning on dispatch's behalf. Yeah, I'm just thinking again, training the new guy. Roads like this, loading the most legal weight we're allowed to run on these highways would would be pretty darn intimidating for a new driver, so. Guys run that shoulder there, big rigs, but you can't quite get all the way off the road, which still forces the vehicle to come into oncoming traffic. I don't feel comfortable forcing or encouraging that. I can get all the way off the road here. Again, guys are running on the shoulder, and it's only half a shoulder here. I don't know why guys run on the shoulder when the passing lane comes up ahead, but if I'm exceptionally slow like I am today, up full load like this going uphill, and there's enough room to pull onto the shoulder, I will do that. It's plus 4 degrees Celsius here, so fairly warm. Above the lake now. Now, how steep is this downgrade? Another good place to sleep. It doesn't actually have a downgrade sign, so not very steep. Oh yeah, I remember now. Yeah, it's not steep at all. grab 2 gears. Even cloudy days can be beautiful days. Snow warning on the Coquihalla. Good to know. Funny. Can't do speed limit now. I guess that's okay. I can be patient. Clouds kind of have a cool pattern to them. Alrighty, we're loaded here in Lavington.
In 500 meters, turn left on Highway
No train
6.
coming. And we have a hard appointment at 7:15 tomorrow morning. It is just after 4 p.m. here in Lavington. Do you think we can make it to Richmond for 7:15 unload? Answer to that is extremely unlikely. So if it's a real hard appointment, we're gonna miss it. A little steep hill there. supposed to be a tarp load according to my dispatch, so I called and said, there's no way in the world I am making this load in time if it's a tarp load. So I called the customer and they're like, oh yeah, no, we don't need to tarp it at all. Okay. In that case, I think I can make it. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go for it. And it took them 3 hours to load, so I don't know. I can only do what I can only do my best on stuff that I can control. Started to stick to the roads on the Coquihalla. Goody. So it's snowing like crazy on the Coquihalla, and that is where we are headed, and we'll be running it as it gets dark and colder. 25 centimeters of snow. Oh well. Like I said, we'll only do the best we can do. And we'll see what it means if we don't make the hard appointment. So it took, 3 hours to load, so I'll put that in the time sheet too, so I get paid for some of that time. It's not a super heavy load, but it is boxed out, so we're heavy, but not the heaviest loads we've been running, so that'll be in our advantage a little bit. So I don't know if the traffic is perfect, the road conditions are good enough that I don't have to slow down. There's a chance I could make it, but right now my GPS says right now I have 6 hours and 19 minutes of drive time left, and it'll take 6 hours and 27 minutes to get there, so what's that, 8 minutes short? 8 minutes short, and we have to climb the connector and the Coquihalla. That's going to add time to it, so like I said, things have to go very right for us to make it. But yeah, everything's got a nice fresh layer of snow over here, which is bizarre. I was not expecting that. It's like people are working their fields and all of a sudden here's a big snowstorm. I guess I should be expecting, it's March, right? So you always have a couple of snowstorms in March, but I wasn't expecting it this late in the year. It's not a snowstorm, it's just a little bit of snow, but nonetheless. Well, on the Coquihalla it might be a snowstorm and we'll be doing it in the dark, so. Oh yeah, windows are fogging up. I'll turn the heat back on. Or not the heat, but the air, the fan. I'm gonna turn the fan back on. talked to the green driver as well today. He actually had a flat tire, and when he did a brake check, he found he had a flat tire. So he'll definitely. I'll have to get new tires. Come down here, probably 2 new tires. When you get 1 flat tire, usually replace 2, depending on how much tread was on the other tire. And then head down here. So he'll get the unload tomorrow morning. I think he'll be doing good. I don't know what you're talking about. She says a field with cattle in it had branches in there. Logs with branches on them for cattle to go scratch themselves, rub their backs against the branches. Silly tires. I had no vibration before I started driving, and now I've got a vibration. I guess driving through all that snow through Falkland, I've got mud in the tires. There's probably wet, sloppy mud, and it's all mud, and it's all settled on the bottom of the wheel well. So a little bit of driving should spread it back out and balance the tire again. Oh, load secure. When do we have to do load secure? I'll just punch it in the calculator. What is it? So it's 7. I have to do it in 80 kilometers. So I'll be at 7:30. Kilometers were at 7:30 when we left Lavington. So 810. I gotta stop at kilometer 810 when the odometer reads 810. Got it. That might be before Kelowna. Is that before or after Kelowna? Can't remember. Might be right in Kelowna. No, if I remember right, it's closer to Summerland normally when I take a Katara run to the Spokane when I go home first. Not Summerland, closer to Peachland, so it'll be West Kelowna. I could be completely wrong, but I heard some kinking and kunking back there, so the load's settling in. Doesn't matter how much. I weigh over 200 pounds. I put all my weight on the straps. Doesn't matter how much you strap down, some of those loads will always settle down. You have to restrap them, tighten them up. Not restrap them, just grab a bar and put another click or 2 clicks on the winch and off we go again. I see a lot of guys not tighten them enough. It's one thing I notice about the new green driver. He tightened the straps down nice and tight. They were making some good music when you tapped them. Sound like a musical instrument as you tapped them as you could walk along.
I like the music.
Tighten them all at different tightness and play some music on the straps. I think it would work. Kind of thinking we were going to get a red light. I'm like, I'm going to slow down just in case. I'm glad I did. Just the fact that it had been green for a little while and there was lots of cars parked there. That's what I always look. If the cross traffic, if there's vehicles waiting there and my light's green, I know there's a high chance of that light not being green by the time I get there. Time to get a lane over when I have a chance. Okay, guys. Why wouldn't you just stay behind me if you wanted to turn? I know how terrible being 5 seconds slower.
400 meters. Turn left on Highway 6, then take the first left.
Funny. I don't want to block this intersection in front of me, but I'm kind of blocking the intersection behind me too. It's like intersections are so close together.
Turn left at the traffic light, then take the first left.
Funny, blinker fluid must be out. That's a fairly heavy load. He's got, does he have a Jeep up front and, I don't know what the thing in the back is called. So yeah, he's got a Jeep up front and then he's got another axle on the back they add to the back. So take a regular trailer, add axles to the front of the trailer and add axles to the back of the trailer so you can haul the heavy stuff. It's almost like I climbed this hill once already today.
Continue on 32nd Street.
So hammer down, get almost to the speed limit before we have to start climbing. be careful not to speed. Because you're coming up off the hill, full throttle, working hard, and all of a sudden you're up to speed, but you forget that you're still working hard. So I got to take my foot off the throttle, wait for the 70, and then put the foot down again. Today morning I definitely sped. Must have turned my brain off for a second because that was dumb. Come through a community, it says 80 ahead. I'm like, okay, do an 80 through the community. I leave the community and I put my throttle all the way down. It's still 80. Doing 100 and it's like, no. I'm like, the speed limit's still 80. And not only is the speed limit change as you leave the community 80, when you leave the community it changes to 90, not 100. So it's a double no. Oh well. I guess I'll get an email next week. Maybe even by the end of this week. It's fairly early in the week, so I might get an email by the end of this week. I know I'm on the safety team. And this is the second time this year I've sped. Not a good habit to get into. I don't know, it's first thing in the morning and I just must have not had the brain on yet. Autopilot mode. I did get lots of sleep. Got what, 8.5 hours sleep? Yeah, definitely got lots of sleep, so can't blame it on being tired. Lately I've been doing a lot of these longer videos. I'll try to do more short videos and split the videos up a little more again. That way you get to see more variety, not just the same miles run. But every now and then I like to do just a long video of, hey, it's beautiful everywhere I go, even if I don't normally record in some of these sections. Now we are on Highway 97C, westbound. We just call it the Connector Highway. Because it connects Highway 97 and Highway 5. Fairly new highway. I mean, it's probably a few decades old by now, but a fairly new route through the mountains. as I'm losing more and more speed. Quite a bit of snow up here. Just showed a picture or a webcam of Coquihalla, and there's a lot more snow up there, so hopefully we make it over there without having to chain up. Jess thinks she's funny. She's laughing so hard she's snorting. There's these stickers that say 3-pack on them for tin pans. Put 2 of the stickers on my arm and said now I have a 6-pack. Thanks. Are you calling me fat? She's definitely having a fun time. She's a dork. I'm a fan. Exit only. This is one of those exits you don't have to go in the other lane until the last second, because if you exit, no big deal. You can just stay full throttle and go right through the chain up area and enter the road on the other side. Unless of course the roads were snowy and we had to chain up, but climbing at 48 kilometers per hour right now, so making some decent time there. Automatic. Why did you think it was okay to upshift there? I think we're not gaining any speed by upshifting there. Maybe we're gaining a little bit. looked on the webcams. How was connector? You didn't look at the connector? Oh, it wasn't bad. So the connector was good. Not as much snow. Okay, cool. And Coquihalla should be all right too, because the summit, most of the climbing is done out of Merritt, and most of the snow is near the Smasher, so we'll be going downhill most of that, so you have to be careful, but should be okay. We have a long way to climb. I think it's one of the longest climbs that I know of, where we consistently just keep climbing and climbing. I think this is a longer climb than the Coquihalla climbing the Smasher. At least always feels that way. I haven't done the actual math. This definitely is one of the longest climbs I've ever done, and it feels like the longest climb I've ever done, at least. And we've had snow up here in July before, driving through here. Must be these freak storms when you're at high elevation. Truck's based out of Surrey, BC, according to the trailer. I guess the trailer's based out of Surrey, BC. You never know. Sometimes you have trucks with Manitoba plates on it and they're based out of Greater Vancouver. The really big companies that have terminals all over the place, trucks end up being in all the wrong places. I don't know how they do insurance and stuff like that, how that works. The truck probably has to find its way to its province every time it needs a inspection, so at least twice a year it must have to find its way back home. I think that's seems reasonable. Reasonable assumption anyway. We're down to 36 kilometers an hour. think I'll let it be there, call it a day. Not for me. I'm gonna try to make it to as close to Vancouver as I can anyway. We'll see when I run out of time. And then we'll see what kind of load we get out of Vancouver tomorrow. Fairly early in the morning, so I'm gonna guess we're gonna pick up a load at a Timber Mart in Langley. If not there, it'll be some other random load or some lumber lifts or who knows. Who knows? It can be all sorts of stuff when you come from Vancouver. And most of the time they're light loads. Whoa! White smoke. Something blew up underneath the hood. We are broke down. Not making it. We're not making it. So that sign up there says we're at the Brenda Mine brake check, or not brake check, chain up area. And I've got no coolant. It has been sprayed all over my engine compartment. I cannot for the life of me find a leak anywhere. I suspect it's going to be a hose way back in there somewhere. Hose going to the truck, maybe a heater hose or something like that, because we got coolant all over the place on this side. I'm no mechanic, I just know I have no coolant and it must be fixed. Truck didn't overheat at all. Saw the coolant leak right away, so we got some coolant leaked out over here. It all kind of, mostly just evaporated. And I've got my triangles way out there. People always put them right next behind the truck. I bring them way out there. And that's a pretty load we've got. We're making good time. I thought there was still a chance of making this delivery on time, but that is obviously out of the window. No cell service here, so I sent a message on the call quam, so hopefully someone responds on there soon. No response yet, but it's only been a couple minutes. And sometimes it takes about 10 minutes to get the message for them, and then another 10 minutes to send a message back. So you got to give them at least half an hour before thinking they're ignoring you. So I guess that's the day. I did say I was going to call it a day over here. I didn't mean it like this. Well, thanks for watching, guys. It's been nice not having any breakdowns for a couple of weeks. But I guess that has ended. Nobody coming on this side. Jump back in the truck, get comfortable, eat some supper, and we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow back on the road in this truck. That is my hope. Okay, so they did reply. Cool. They replied with a 10-4. So, and they'll let us know an ETA once the tow truck's on the way. Cool. So we're going to sit here and have some supper. Adios. So we're getting a tow. Trailers and everything attached. Remember I detached the trailers? I reattached them, and he's towing us up with the trailers attached just to the chain up here. And then I'll lock up the trailers. Or drop the trailers in the chain up area. Lock everything up. And then he'll tow us to, he said Penticton, so I guess we're going home for the night. So just a heads up, there may or may not be a video tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. I'll get on the road the second they fix the thing. Hopefully it's something they have in stock and they can fix it right away. If not, then they'll probably fix it, what is today, Tuesday? So I think worst case scenario, they're gonna fix it Thursday morning. They have to overnight the part in or whatever, and then they'll fix it Thursday morning. I think that's worst case.
It'll be really ironic if Kelowna IRL has a piece.
It would be ironic if the Kelowna IRL has the piece and they have to, well, if it was in Kelowna, they could get it to us tomorrow.
But
So
it will be ironic still. No.
yeah, he just goes, he's got lots of power in this truck. He'll just pull us up dead slow. So that's what's going on now. Thanks, Jess, for those Fred lights.
You're welcome.
Came in nice and handy. Fred lights are really bright, flashing beacon lights. The tow truck driver mentioned how great that light goes. He goes, you can see that light from far away. He goes, long before you could see the safety triangles, he saw those lights. So I'm like, cool.
Let me see what you would put all of them out, Jeff, in the front of them.
I only put one of them out on the corner of the trailer. But if he could see it far away, because it's a very slow sweeping corner down that way, I'm like, one of them on the corner and then the triangles should be plenty of time. And I went for a long walk, put the triangles way down there, right?
You're supposed to.
Like you're supposed to. The triangles are there to warn people that, hey, there's a hazard coming up.
That is part of the triangle.
So yeah, I figured just update ya. And we'll go, we'll see what happens. Once again, thanks for watching. Really appreciate all the support. You guys rock.